San Francisco 49ers owner Jed York today pleaded no contest to misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct and possessing criminal tools. York was arrested Sunday in East Palestine, Ohio, on a charge of engaging in prostitution, but that charge was amended to the disorderly conduct charge. The California Post reports it obtained court documents that state York used a prostitution website to arrange to have sex with a female in exchange for $140 at a local trailer park. The Cleveland Browns today named Deshaun Watson their starting quarterback. Watson today apologized for making critical comments about Browns fans after they booed him during their preseason game Saturday. NBA ESPN reports Portland Trailblazers guard Shaedon Sharpe sustained a torn meniscus in his knee and is expected to miss 6 months. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
Yo, CNR on FSR.
Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a Teofimo Lopez winning the 147 strap sort of weekend. Randy Arozarena hitting home runs, robbing home runs, walk-off home runs sort of weekend. Weekend.
We're going to get to a lot of stuff. What I love is that every day, just when you think, man, what are we going to talk about today? The world of sports and entertainment writes itself. Jed York,
I hope you didn't have a York sort of weekend. That's for sure.
Geez, is that what happens when you have to pay all your stars a lot of money? $140.
So. Hope you had a Skirball 12 strikeout kind of weekend.
Ooh, well, we're going to get to all that. We're going to talk NFL. We're going to talk Deshaun Watson in a second, named the Browns Week 1 starter.
No, week, W-E-A-K. Week 1 starter. Yeah, boo.
Well, week.
Definitely major, actually. Big news.
Definitely major.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio, broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studios. If you miss any of today's show, catch the podcast and our best of the week last week in for Dan Patrick, plus Drew Brees and Ice Cube and Frank Caliendo and more. That's all on the podcast. Search Covino and Rich. Follow, rate, and review. And we're streaming live as we speak at Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube, so you could watch the show. And that's why you see me here in Toronto. The baddest vato in Toronto here, Steve Covino.
Now, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Seems to be what everyone's talking about. Does he deserve to be QB1? Then he had a little, what would you say, he sort of criticized the fans and then walked it back.
You know what? He did and he didn't. Well, he criticized the fans definitely. And you got to keep this in mind. Has he given them any reason to cheer? That's really the question.
He was supposed to be the guy that changed this franchise. So you're right. Like, if anything, like, there's nothing they should be happy about. So here's what Deshaun Watson said on Saturday. Take a listen.
I mean, I didn't have no reaction. I think the biggest thing is I think you guys know too, and I think the whole world knows. It has nothing to do about the performance. It's a little bit personal than that. So I think that's it's a disrespectful thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep whatever I feel with me and my family internally on how I feel about that. And, yeah, just move on.
Ooh.
Don't you think, Deshaun, that winning and playing better would eliminate some of that booing?
Last time I played on this field, I tore my Achilles. And that same fan base, they cheered when I got hurt.
Oh, snap. So he's holding.
Hold on, though.
Yeah.
I do got to say something. Yeah. And, of course, the fans have a right to boo, right? They're there to watch a good guy play a good game. And he's done neither. He hasn't been a good guy, and he hasn't played any good games. He did stay positive about playing in Cleveland, though. He was like, I'm meant to be here. I have no regrets, sort of God's plan sort of thing, and he planned on making the most of it. So it wasn't all doom and gloom. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, but make the most of it isn't what you want to hear. You're big on how people word things, right? Imagine if you were like, well, Covino, I partnered up with him years ago to do broadcasting. I'll make the most of it.
I'm just saying
would you
it
like
wasn't
that?
all doom and gloom. I would say that I was surprised that he didn't have regrets playing there. Like, all right, if I'm not going to ever be appreciated here, because it's clear that he's not, unless, of course, he goes on a tear, and I don't see that happening. Maybe another setting would be more welcoming for the guy. Because all the coaches came to his defense. All the coaches were, sort of backing him up, expressing the fact that this has to be hurtful. And I'm sure it is, but we reap what we sow, right? So basically, guys, let's piece this together. He had a subpar performance again, and he got booed. They asked him about it, and he was overly honest. He says he wants to play there, but at the same time, he's saying, the fans aren't necessarily nice to me. And then when they announced his starting QB1 this week over Shedeur, he sort of took back what he said.
This is what he said then, after that.
First off, I want to address the comments from Saturday after the game. I think just, human nature, just myself being very emotional, putting a lot of time these last 2 years to, get back and, spend time in this facility, in the city, meeting a lot of different people in the community. I thought I was going to get, a little different response, but, I think, my emotions got the best of me. My comments wasn't intending to go at any of the fans around in the city, because there's been a lot of great fans that have been supporting me. And I know the frustration this organization have put, a lot of investment in coming, to get me back in 22.
I mean, listen, you can stop it there. They invested a lot in this guy being the future of their team. Do you remember, we got to go back a little bit. Do you remember Baker Mayfield was doing just fine? Baker Mayfield was starting to really turn the corner in Cleveland. I remember it was like, surprise, we're going with Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson was really one of the premier young quarterbacks. It seems so long ago, Houston Texans, and it was shocking to everyone when that move happened. Since then, all the personal allegations and all the charges against him, many of them.
He's done nothing. Like I said, He's done nothing to give them reason to cheer. So the boos aren't any surprise. And is it personal? Absolutely, it is. It really is. Did his emotions get the best of him? Yes. But, do we really accept the apology, or do we just want to see actions? Think about that on the football field. Think about that in life. What does sorry really mean? Your kids could say sorry to you. Your wife, your girlfriend, you could be saying sorry. You don't know what you're saying sorry for.
How many times have you said that? Honey, I'm sorry. She's like, you don't even know why you're sorry. You're like, I don't.
It's the truth. Because, and I'm being as cliche as ever, but there's a point behind it. Actions mean so much more, but especially in sports, because those actions are measured by statistics and wins, right? So if he really wants it to go away, just win. Go out there and what did Adrian say? Win. Just win and shut up.
The reality is,
honestly, shut up. Just shut up and win.
As much as people may not like this guy, all the off-the-field allegations and settlements out of court and all this stuff has left a bad taste in people's mouths. But you're so right. We forgive athletes when they win. I think it's a combination of all of this.
Dude, you know what I'm sorry for, Rich?
All this has gone wrong. Covino, let me just finish. Off the field and on the field. If he were winning, I think we'd be like, oh, man, well, clean it up, dude. It's because everything is a losing effort.
I'm sorry for party rocking, and I apologize to absolutely nobody.
We're sorry.
Because half the time, we as men don't even know what we're sorry for. But I will say this, and I don't want to speak out of both sides of my mouth, but when we see a level of sincerity that doesn't feel forced, words do hit sometimes.
Yeah.
When it comes from people that don't always say sorry. Sometimes you do want to hear that accountability. I'm not discrediting words completely. Recently, dude, my daughter, who's so rude to me sometimes. She's a teenage girl, so I give her the pass, right? It's just teenage behavior. She never apologizes, but recently she did, and I got to admit, it did mean a little something, because I never hear it. And I'm like, wow, I was sort of taken back. I'm shocked. It's like, honestly, how often
you're
does
abused dead?
No, because there's certain people in your life that'll never say sorry, right? They just move on. It's like a personality trait. They just move on and they just move forward. But she said sorry recently, and I was like, you know what? That was pretty refreshing, and I appreciated that. So I'm not saying it doesn't matter.
Well, the biggest,
but you could say, here's the rule.
Yeah.
Say it. Be sincere about it. Like really, I want to see a little like tear. I want to see you well up a little bit.
Well,
and then let your actions back you up, man.
Yeah, but the fans are sort of full of it too, because there is, like you said, there's a part of it that if he was winning, people have overlooked terrible.
You're right.
Men
fans
in
are
sports.
just as pathetic.
I mean,
you win, so we forget it now.
If you win, we forget that if you had some domestic violence or drunk driving or this or that. But
it works. It works all the time. Michael
winning,
Vick is the prime example.
But winning cures all. But let me ask everyone in this room. Isaac Lowenkron, Danny G, Iowa Sam, do we anticipate the Browns going on a tear this year?
No.
And if they did, though, you could see, because it was not long ago. It was not long ago that, is it long ago that this guy was one of the young premier dudes?
I honestly
Are we that far removed, Danny?
I kind of expected Deshaun Watson to be named the starter because then you could bring Shedeur Sanders in. If you go in that reverse order, where do you go from there if you're the Browns? You're already kind of in NFL purgatory.
Yeah, and they're still trying to get their money's worth a little bit.
I know what you're saying. You're saying if you start with Shedeur and then go to Deshaun, it's the wrong order in a way. I know what you're saying, because you're like, yeah.
I'm reading the feedback, too. We're streaming live. You could watch the show. Again, I'm live in Toronto. Everybody else back at the Fox Sports Radio studios in Los Angeles. At Covino and Rich FSR, Robert David says, the Browns should have stuck with Baker. Do you think they made a mistake?
Too little, too late.
The answer is yeah, absolutely they made a mistake. There's no question about that. That's why, even though he doesn't have a solid deal right now, he gets the last laugh moving on. There's no question about that.
Well, they did get greedy. His record with them, his final season in Cleveland, was 6-8 as a starter. He was moving in the right direction, but wasn't quite there yet. We're thinking of the Baker he is right now.
No, but he made it to the playoffs the year before that, if you remember.
Yeah.
He was changing the culture, though. He was making them more of a watchable, sort of a must-watch team. We already seen his leadership and what he's capable of, so I still stand by that. They made a mistake. But, again, he's backtracking. That's the update with the Watson story. He spoke from the heart. Look, and you know what? He does make a point. If you want him to be honest, it can't feel good to be booed after an injury, right? Or booed when you're just doing your best and trying to get the rust out. I think they're booing him for personal reasons. There's no question, but he's still being honest. Doesn't feel good, and it doesn't really. It doesn't really ever help. It's counterproductive if you want the guy to play well for your city.
I look at Deshaun Watson stats, and there have been fall-offs from one team to another, but his last year in Houston was remarkable. Do you ever look at his stats that last year? Dude, 4,800 yards passing, 33 tutties, 7 picks, and a QBR rating of 112. Cleveland thought they were getting the guy. That's why they were so quick to be like, yo, Baker Mayfield, later, pal, because they thought they were getting a guy that was going to change everything. And since then, nothing. And you got to wonder, could a guy at 30 years old get back to that form? Can you guys think of other people in the NFL that were thinking maybe, I'm looking at Mike Evans. Can Mike Evans get back to where he was a couple years ago with Tampa for the 49ers? Could Odell Beckham Jr. start contributing to a team as a starting wide receiver? Or are we thinking of Odell Beckham Jr.?
At least he's being embraced by the fans. That's for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
To see him.
I think every team, Danny, would you say there's a good 10 players that you could probably, if we put our heads together, think of where it's could they regain their previous form? And so many of the times it just never truly happens.
It's a storyline going into every single NFL season. And we were talking about that season Baker did take the Browns to the playoffs, Rich. They were 11-5.
Yeah.
And then important thing to note, that season I was talking about when he was 6-8 as a starter, he was fighting through a torn labrum in his non-throwing shoulder.
I remember that.
For a lot of that season. So that's when Cleveland decided to move on and made that massive Deshaun Watson trade. So a lot of it was injury-based. Now you fast forward, that's kind of what Baker has also been dealing with the Bucs a little bit this past season, if you watch quarterback.
Injury-based, and he was getting a lot of criticism for putting commercials before the team. Remember, he was everywhere at the time, dancing around, all sorts of TV ads and things like that. We saw Baker change things around pretty quickly. And what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson? based on this, it's already too controversial, Rich. Like the season hasn't even started, and he's already apologizing. He's been named starter. He's having press conferences. He has coaches defending him. This guy's going to be sitting the bench within 4 to 5 weeks.
Oh, you think? Okay.
Because anytime he does struggle, they're going to be booing for Shedeur to come in there, and there's going to be some sort of pressure to put him in.
I feel like what you're doing is you're daring me.
To schedule watch.
To do a little schedule watching. Let's go, Sammy.
The Rich loves to look at the schedule game.
Schedule watching.
Oh, no, you couldn't even wait until Tuesday for this?
I said 4 to 5 weeks, but this will, we could actually see where it's going to happen. Where is he going to struggle? He's going to get up there again, address booing again, and then they're going to come back and announce Shedeur as the starting QB. Let's figure out when that's going to be.
You know what I'm going to tell you right now? I'm going to tell you that not
by
so
the way,
fast.
nobody's rooting for that, Rich. I don't want to make it seem like we're rooting for that. Everybody loves a good comeback story. Let the guy redeem himself. I would love to see that.
You know how we've talked about some of the better teams in the National Football League having brutal schedules? Remember we went over the Bills' schedule and it was like, oh, my God, they don't get a rest. Like teams
tough.
like the Bills, seems like they're playing the Seahawks, Chiefs, Niners. They're playing someone every week, it seems, right? Now, quite the opposite for the lowly Cleveland Browns. So hold up, because they start the regular season in Jacksonville. Now, Jacksonville, better team, but that's not like – all right, so you're 0-1, right?
Smoke weed every day.
You play the Bucks. I mean, again, neither one of those teams, the Bucks or the Jags, are like – it's not like it's like, oh, man, week 1 they're going into Seattle. So maybe they split, right? Then they get to play the Panthers, Steelers, and the Jets. So I think there's a little window there, weeks 3, 4, and 5, where the Browns could very well compete.
And Watson could very well find some sort of confidence.
Find a rhythm.
Some sort of rhythm.
So, it's, again, I hate to do the analogies because they're all different positions, but Mike Evans, Von Miller on the Cowboys now. There's guys that were great, and you're like, well, what are they now? We don't know what they are now, right? Like Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was great. What is he now?
You said this, so I'm going to give you all the credit or blame you, however you want to say it. Fans are gross. Fans are so gross when you think about it because, you're like, screw this guy. He's a terrible dude. Boo. He's the worst anyway. But if he does go on that run, the news cycle, the fans,
if he's 4-2 after 6 games, all of a sudden it's like, man, Deshaun Watson, feel-good story. He's back, and the fans are embracing him.
Yeah, the whole narrative, we got to be conscious of that. Like, man, what a great comeback story. We have to remember, and like right there on our conscious mind, remember, like, yeah, you were just booing him a few weeks ago.
All right,
saying what a terrible guy he was.
Let me stick up for the fans that weren't booing, though. How many fans in the stadium
I'm not a
were
booer,
booing him?
Danny.
No, I'm not either. But
Danny,
I'm saying there were boos sprinkled throughout that stadium. Not every Browns fan was booing
Agreed.
him.
I have a question. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, which you're not, Danny, you're a much classier Raiders fan.
Got that right.
Hey, there was enough boos where it was addressed in the press conference and the coaches had to come to his defense.
Let me ask you
enough
this.
boos to make a story out of it.
If you're
I just don't like when jabroni fans are suddenly the voice of all the fans.
No,
of that team.
that is true. I agree with that, Danny. We don't want to assault. You don't want to give the minority of fans that are like terrible the biggest platform.
Yeah, but now you're just cheering for a guy where morally you should be like, you got to make a decision. Is he a bad guy or not a bad guy? What are we rooting for? For him to play good football or for him to become a better dude?
Well, ask yourself that. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, he's your QB1. You're not going to root for him?
That's it. Yeah. I mean, you could root for the player. Absolutely.
You're absolutely going to root for the player.
And that's what we do.
The dog pound? I'm not talking about your pal Arsenio Hall. The dog pound in Cleveland. Definitely going to be pulling for this guy. And we'll see what happens.
So what are you seeing with the schedule there?
All right, schedule, I told you,
so
Danny.
far 4-2.
Danny, I feel like it's possible that let's see. I feel like their first 1, 2, 3, 4. After 5 games, week 6 they play at home against the Ravens, and they always play tough. Then they play the Titans, who stink. I think after 7 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they could be. Call me crazy. If Deshaun Watson plays hella good football and somehow recaptures a little bit of like, oh, yeah, that's why Deshaun Watson was the first guy to get all that guaranteed money and why Cleveland sort of mortgaged their whole future on this guy. If he somehow, Covino, regains that 2020, 6 years ago vibe that he had with the Texans.
6 years, man.
Jeez,
That's a big chunk of your career.
So if he could get anywhere close to that guy,
That's a big chunk of your youth.
that was considered one of the top quarterbacks in the league, I think he could be 4-3 after 7 weeks. I really do. They play
and
the
coaches
Titans.
could be saying and if he doesn't perform, even more reason to give him the boot and sit him, because these are games you're supposed to win. So they're very telling games.
If you look at the schedule, they could very well beat the Jets, the Titans, and split with the Steelers and Ravens maybe, and split with the Bucks and Panthers. Beat the Panthers, lose to the Bucks. So it's actually Deshaun Watson has a chance, is what I'm saying, and we'll leave it at that. He has a chance. Let's see what he does with it.
Well,
he has
let's
a chance.
be clear. I always find booing counterproductive. However, he deserves those boos. He really does. Now, to cheer for injury, and he addressed it, I don't think anyone should ever cheer for someone getting hurt. But still, if anyone deserves boos, it's this guy.
Yeah.
Would we like to see a comeback story as fans? Sure. Why not? Everybody wants to see their team win. I get it. But he apologized today. He let his emotions get the best of him. It's never going to feel good to be booed by your home team. That's the other thing. You're getting booed at home. What's it like when you're on the road?
Yeah.
So it's tough to be guys like this. You know, it's tough to be in that situation, but we reap what we sow. Lie in the bed you make. There's plenty of cliches
What do people love to say?
to describe
Play
it.
stupid games, win stupid prizes. Hey, you've heard them all.
E-
So good luck,
exactly.
Deshaun Watson. Good
and
luck.
it's all
kiddo.
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him worry about it. And like he said, he has his family, he's got his faith, and guess what, Rich?
Yeah.
He's got his money.
That's all he needs. All right, hey, we got more Covino and Rich. We're going to talk about another guy that got himself in a sticky situation. No. Jed
Pun
York,
intended.
49ers. My goodness,
no.
what's doing? Oh boy.
Not your 40 crimers.
We'll get
No,
to that.
you're 40 slimers.
By the
bro.
way, new definition to a bang bang Niners gang, huh? All right. Hey now. And there's another speech in the NFL that's getting some buzz. So we'll talk about the NFL today, obviously, as we're all pumped up for the start of the season. More Covino and Rich next, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Now, if you work in logistics, you know one thing. Nothing moves without you. And right now, companies everywhere are looking for skilled people who can keep their supply chains running strong. Find your next job through Express Employment Pros.
At Express Employment Pros, logistics isn't just another career field. It's a specialty, from warehouse associates and forklift operators to shipping and receiving, CDL drivers, inventory coordinators, and more. Express connects you with the roles that keep business moving.
Go to expresspros.com, find a location near you, give them a call. Whether you need to get your foot in the door with a contract role or looking for full-time work, Express finds you a job where your skills fit and your experience matters.
And the best part, with Express, there are never any fees for job seekers. So if you're ready for your next shift, your next challenge, or your next big move, let Express help you find the logistics job that fits.
Visit expresspros.com today. Stop searching alone, get support, get options, and get to work.
Saquon Barkley
Quan Barkley.
at camp.
Oh, I see what you're doing here.
That never gets old, Sam. Hey, Sam, Saquon Barkley,
Quan Barkley.
much like many people, is sort of just had enough, a little fed up, a little like, what's the point of these joint practices? We talked yesterday, Danny, about how fists are flying. They're doing German suplexes. They're doing high, big elbows
Brian
off the top rope.
Schottenheimer is in charge of the Fight Club.
Yeah, so it's like, And I've always thought that unless there's some, you know what? Here's the thing: a lot of times there is a camaraderie between the teams that link up, coaching wise, but you still got 100+ guys trying to make football teams, and they're going to be chippy and they're going to fight. But like you see the Titans, did you see the commonalities between the Titans and the Niners, between Robert Saleh and some of the coaches and players that are very close to the 49ers? But that doesn't mean that practice is going to go smooth.
No, not at all.
And Saquon Barkley talked about this. Take a listen.
I hate joint practice, to be honest. I think one day's good, but we play in a ego-filled sport with a lot of men, and I'm all about just putting the work in, and it's good to go against someone new. I think we're at that part of camp where we needed to go against a new face. Honestly, I'm not really a fan of joint practices.
Joint practices, Saquon Barkley's not alone. In fact, the whole preseason, our very own Colin Cowherd on the network, after Jaden Higgins got hurt on the Texans.
Yeah, Tuesday, joint practice with the Raiders.
Yeah, he was like, stars. And then he went on to say, stars. And then Colin, after that, said stars. And then after that, he
said, too many stars are getting hurt. Stars. I say no more practice.
He said, why are you even doing preseason? Yeah. Why are we doing joint practices? A lot of this just seems outdated.
Yeah, he said practice is fine, but the preseason games, he said maybe we should just get rid of the preseason.
And let's make it clear, like you already said, second-year wideout of the Texans, Jaden Higgins, tore his ACL. So, you got some big-time players getting hurt. Like, maybe they should ease up a little bit. Like, that's not what you want.
Well, not even ease up. It's just a matter of if you're going to put yourself out there and maybe put your body on the line. Why do people sit out the Pro Bowl? Because it means nothing. So if you're going to get hurt, unfortunately, let me get hurt in something that matters.
That's exactly what RG3 said on our network. He said, get hurt when it matters.
If you're going to get hurt in week 5, no one wants to get hurt. But if you get hurt, diving for the pylon.
People always say, well, they would have got hurt anyway. But yeah, at least it would have been in a game that it mattered.
If I told you that, I don't know, Jahmyr Gibbs, and I don't wish this on anyone. Let's say tweaks his pinky because he dives for the pylon in week 6 against a division rival.
That's not how you tweak your pinky.
How dare you?
I don't know if you want to share that story here.
You know what? I don't even want people to think what you might be thinking. But let's say Jahmyr Gibbs tweaked his pinky in a different way. If it were against, I don't know, like the Packers or the Vikings, you'd be like, all right, at least it was worth it. If it's in a joint practice or a exhibition preseason game, it's almost like, for what? Which is, again, why the Pro Bowl turned into flag football, which even guys are now sitting that out. Practice against your team and then decide when the season starts. And I know you're going to say, well, there's preseason in the NBA and you got a whole month dedicated to spring training in baseball. So I get the history of it, but there's a part of me that feels like I feel what Colin's saying, and Saquon, as you just heard, Saquon Barkley saying, I'm the wrong guy to ask because I hate joint practice. There's a bunch of chippy young dudes trying to make teams.
Yeah, there's a lot of testosterone in.
And you're right. Think about all the alpha dudes that are
it's a highly competitive atmosphere.
And in their hometown, they were the big dog, and now they're trying to make an NFL roster. That's like, well, you're right. That's a hell of a lot of testosterone and ego and a lot. So I don't know. But what's the solution, right? Tell me what the solution is. Is it simply practice? But ask yourself this, fellas. Do you think the team should just practice for a month, Danny, and then keep the same September start? But hey, week 1's week 1.
We'd have to say yes to this because we spent most of our week filling in for DP saying we're doing too much, even too much coverage. We're making too much out of preseason.
It's overblown now.
It's way overblown. We keep talking about all the fights and squabbles that are going on. We're fired up about anything and everything Fernando says about games that don't matter at all. It's and I get it. The world revolves around football, or America, I should say, revolves around football. We want more, but it has gone overblown.
Let me ask you guys this, though. There's nothing like in-game experience for the young guys trying to make clubs. So how do you adjust that?
How do you test them in real?
Of course, we have more foosball to play or to talk about. We're actually going to play Showtime Mahomes Trivia.
I want to play some football right now.
Let's go.
Yeah, I do kind of want to play some football.
Are you going to get your shoulder looked at? Covino Covino's such the guy that like hurt his shoulder at the gym, and now he can't even throw the Nerf football in the studio during the breaks.
It's getting better, though. It's getting better. Yeah. I just need probably one more cortisone shot.
Are you going to be back for week one or no?
I'll be King Spiral again, bro.
Okay,
That's what they call me, King Spiral.
How about that? How about the
football,
Ashton Genty injury scare yesterday?
dude?
When they said it doesn't look serious and it's an ankle, tweak, I was like, Danny must have just been like, thank God, because that would have just really ruined any fun hopes of, let's see what the Raiders could do. Like, you're still, everyone's hoping, right?
When there was a rumor that it was a torn ACL, I was screaming at the heavens like Richie and La Bamba.
Why, Richie?
I thought of you, Danny G, for sure. Hope you enjoyed your preseason foosball this weekend. Hope you enjoyed the fights and some baseball. When I say the fights, dude, props to Teofimo Lopez, three-time, three-division champion.
I watched it, man. Him and Rolly. That was a good fight.
Yeah, it was a good fight. I wanted,
it went the distance, and I know for UFC fans, they're like, yeah, when it goes the distance, they say boxing doesn't have the action a UFC does, but I thought that was a decent fight. I wanted a little more action, but
well, tell me this, Rich, because I was watching the Odyssey, and I'm still exhausted from that adventure.
Teofimo was getting a little. There was a couple moments where Rolly was catching him.
That's what I was going to say. I, from what I saw and what I gathered, because I did see it online later on, Teofimo won most of the rounds. Rolly had the bigger moments, just didn't capitalize.
That was exactly the best way to pinpoint that fight.
So,
dude, you missed that. You went to see the Odyssey for 3 hours? How many bathroom breaks did you take?
None, bro. No, I was so
proud
of myself.
Did you look at your phone for 3 hours?
No. I no phone for 3 hours. I was fully engaged. That movie is wow. So, yeah, like I missed the fight, but I saw the highlights. So, hope you enjoyed the fight. I love a great fight, a nice hiney, and hanging with you guys here on Fox Sports Radio, live from the Fox Sports Radio studio.
All right, now, you said you like a nice hiney, but $140 hiney? A trailer park hiney?
Are we talking your 40 Slimers, or as Danny G said, your 40 Crimers?
Dude, Jed York. I hate to even drag the name of the CEO and, principal owner of the team I love so much. You know me, number one Niners fan on the network. But, I just question this.
Jed.
I just question this, and I think we could all think this.
A guy named Jed has trailer park, I don't know.
Oh, how dare you.
Antics.
His name, you think his name is,
Yeah.
Jed who fled.
So
Jed.
My thought is this.
Sounds like a shady guy.
Much like you, Cove.
Jed.
Every time an athlete or a celebrity has some drunk driving, Tony Romo, or some type of celebrity or someone gets pulled over and you're like, dude, you got so much money, get a driver. And it's always the answer, get a driver. My thought for Jed York, and you could say, how about not at all? But my answer is this. If you are the principal owner, CEO of and you could say the same about Robert Kraft, allegedly back in the day. I don't want to, I hate to bring these things up. People make mistakes, but
don't forget Tucker.
Justin Tucker, you're telling me that there wasn't a more high-end, safer, legitimate, mutually beneficial route? Like you're telling me there's not a route a man like that could have taken than going to a trailer park for $140. I know everyone has their horny moments. Don't get me wrong.
You, bro, his name's Jed. Anyone named Jed is susceptible to shady antics.
You're telling me older. He could have went on like sites that are like borderline legal. Like, aren't there like rich guy sites where it's like you get little you could be like a sugar daddy to some hot young something? Like, what? Why is he doing this? Why is
what
he
sites are these?
No, but you like there's old guys that could get with younger girls that just pay their rent. You're telling me his best option was to go to a trailer park for $140? It's just like the risk and the reward. Like, I don't know. I just feel like
makes sense. We always assume that everybody knows the story, and most of you do. I get it, right? We sort of live this stuff, and we have social media. But Rich already said it. 49ers owner, principal owner, CEO Jed York was arrested in Ohio, and it's a prostitution-related case. And Rich already said it. 140 buckaroos.
main
in
charges.
a trailer park thing where he met this woman online, and he made some really, really weak decisions. That's why we said the 40 crimers, the 40 slimers, or whatever. Like, this is the type of behavior you expect from your weakest of friends.
You expect this behavior from your truck driving buddy that's like with a lot that he
your
gets
buddy
a lot,
Bo Weevil.
Your buddy Bo Weevil, who I was like, I got with a lot lizard when I was driving across the country. Like,
yeah, man, desperate times call for desperate measures, but we had a blast.
Some truck driver that was like, hey, if you go to the bathroom stall and knock 3 times, some girls in there. Yeah. Like, this
and
is
I'm not
trash
judging,
behavior.
bro. We're not judging, but when you got again for the regular fella who's gonna do what he has to do, whatever. I'm not judging you.
No, regular
but when
guy,
you're
okay.
the owner of the 49ers and you're taking these type of chances, man, I'm sorry to say this to you, Rich. Your team doesn't deserve to win.
Oh, stop
this
it!
is some
hold on.
behavior.
The other team that had an owner that did some stuff like this ended up with a dynasty. So maybe
this is even weaker, bro. This is a really weak decision, and that's what it gets you thinking about. Like everybody. Well, see, I can't even say everybody. Why would I even defend? This guy.
Right.
I wouldn't go to a trailer park for $140.
Covino in our in-show chat. It's Covino and Rich, FSR on YouTube. Carl checks in. He says, whole time I thought quest for 6 is what Jed was saying. Didn't know he meant hashtag quest for sex.
Oh, that's the hashtag was off this whole time. Now, Ilo, can you just give us the when you've done this before? No, can you just give us the details? So the charges were dropped. Prostitution was dropped, right? It became a lesser charge, apparently, from what I'm reading.
It was technically amended, and what's so fascinating is I have never heard of that happening ever before, of a prostitution charge being amended to a disorderly conduct charge. I'm sure if that would have happened to somebody who is not
Jed York?
Obscenely rich, I'm sure the exact same thing would have happened.
Ilo, certainly not putting you on the spot.
You kind of are, though.
But
I can tell you're getting glee.
But wouldn't you assume someone
Thank you, Covino.
Wouldn't you assume someone of that caliber would have other options with the ladies?
Yes.
You would assume, but maybe it's more psychological. Like
probably him, I'm
who
afraid.
said
Yeah.
this? Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Someone hit us up. Again, we're streaming live, and you could chat live at Covino and Rich FSR. Rennick81 says, rich dudes. I thought he meant you first, Rich, but no, he said rich dudes love to go slumming. And you know what? Maybe there's like some sort of like weird taboo sort of thing.
Like they want to feel like a regular dude
it's
or
the
something.
raunchiness of it.
Like exactly.
And wasn't there that Tiger Woods thing in the Perkins restaurant
There's
parking
a thrill
lot?
there. The risk is the reward.
Yeah, maybe
a raunchy
there's
risk.
Maybe it feels like extra naughty for these guys.
You know what,
because
Sam?
It gives them so much more to lose.
Sam nailed it. The raunchy risk. The raunchy risk of it must be what gets a guy like that off because
you already stated the obvious.
we have
Rich.
friends.
Of course, he has options. The dude has money.
We have
when
friends.
You got money. You got plenty. He got money and stock options on top of stock options. He's got ass options, right? So this is what makes it like a risque sort of thing for the guy.
Even Mark Davis has girls on his arms.
Yeah,
for real. So you nailed it,
Captain Kangaroo. When we have close friends, maybe even that work for the show in a capacity. That are on crazy dating sites where they could probably sleep with someone within an hour if they wanted to. There's a lot of places to swipe and click and this that are legal. So there is something consensual. So there's something much more psychological, like you guys said. So
it's like how you know how powerful people love to get their beanbag stomped and weird things like that. It's like this guy has so many options probably that he just needs some sort of risk factor. He needs to feel like he needs to go slumming to make it exciting for him.
What do they call
it? And that's why we see a lot of stuff like this. Look, I'm no psychologist. I'm not trying to psychoanalyze the situation. But let's be clear. He does have options. There's no question about it.
What do they
There's
call
a reason they do that.
What do they call when it's a cliche in a movie? My wife knows the term because she always say, "Oh, that's a blank." It's like a
trope.
Yeah, dude, Isaac, that's why you're the man. It's such a trope in movies and
Good
stuff.
job, DJ Trope.
There's such a trope in movies and TV shows where the rich CEO is caught with like a dominatrix because he's so powerful that there's a layer into his psyche that he needs, like you said, to get his, as you said, his beanbag stomped on, or maybe just go slumming for $140 an hour.
Why would you ruin your beanbag chair?
But
remember when Hugh Grant was caught on like the
Eddie Murphy too, right?
He was caught like on the Sunset Strip or something, like somewhere like out in the open.
There must be something psychological, because the reality is there's so many places to swipe and so many legal, consensual, probably areas and ways you could do this. So, damn, what are you going to do? All right, let's go to ILO for an update. Isaac Lowenkron, what's going on, bud?
Well, that is indeed our top story by far. San Francisco 49ers owner Jed York today, indeed, pleading no contest to misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct and possessing criminal tools. York was arrested on Sunday in East Palestine, Ohio, oddly enough at 9:30 in the morning.
Jeez. Horned up.
Easy like a Sunday morning.
Jeez, that's like...
Yo, I see another thing. Isaac, I don't want to ruin your credible update here, okay? So this is no affiliation.
I can ruin my own credibility on my own. Don't worry about that.
Well, I'm speaking on behalf of myself to just not bring you down to our level. But, like, what? The people are way horned up. Everybody needs to relax a little bit. 9 a.m. in a trailer park? Like, get a grip. Maniacs. Maniac behavior.
Jeez, must have just woke up with, anyway.
No, seriously. Like, there's no excuse for this. Everybody needs to settle down. Just because you got some sort of urge doesn't mean you have to act on it.
Woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah,
I'm serious, and I think a lot of people today, like, they have a kink or an urge or like a thought in their mind, and like, well, I guess I need to act on it. You don't. You don't.
Okay. Man, poor Jed York. Go on. Go on.
Sorry. Again, 9 a.m., bro.
I mean, what the
in his defense, it was 9:30.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Perhaps there's a big difference between 9 and 9:30.
Maybe he went to Denny's first, for all we know. I don't know.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, you never know what you're going to, what news you're going to wake up to in this business. But indeed, so he was arrested on a charge of engaging in prostitution, but as the guys were saying, that charge was amended to the disorderly conduct charge. The California Post indeed reported today that it obtained court documents that state that York used a prostitution website to arrange to have sex with a female in exchange for $140 at a local trailer park. The 49ers said in a statement,
"What the hell were you thinking?"
Oops, sorry, I hit the wrong button there. Their statement said, quote, "As this is a legal matter which has been resolved, we will not be providing any further comment at this time," unquote. Unfortunately, the rest of the world will be providing further comment. Anyway, in other Ohio sexual misconduct-related news, allegedly, the Cleveland Browns named Deshaun Watson their starting quarterback today. Watson used the occasion to apologize for making critical comments about Browns fans after they booed him during Saturday's preseason game. In the NBA, ESPN reported Portland Trail Blazers guard Shaedon Sharpe sustained a torn meniscus in his knee and is expected to miss 6 months. Sharpe averaged a career-high 21 points a game last season. Finally, in Major League Baseball, the Houston Astros and general manager Dana Brown mutually agreed to part ways with his contract set to expire at the end of the season. Astros, believe it or not, are actually tied for first place in the American League West right now, despite being just 65 and 66. Guys, all yours.
Thank you, Ilo. We got more Covino and Rich, more NFL coming up right here on Fox Sports Radio. Now, every sports season built on preparation, studying the trends and making the necessary adjustments to reach that ultimate goal. Investing deserves that same approach with Webull. You have access to real-time market data, advanced tools, and an intuitive app designed to help you make informed decisions.
Whether you're actively trading stocks, options, ETFs, and more, or planning for the long term for you and your family with IRAs, cash management, and custodial accounts for children, Webull gives you the tools to invest your way, all in one platform.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to take your preparation to the next level, check out Webull's Learn Resources and join their in-app community feed to discuss investing trends and happenings alongside 25 million users globally.
And now help streamline that and elevate your strategy with Vega. That's Webull's AI market assistant. You get real-time data, real-time analysis, watch list insights, and alerts when earnings drop. So get your financial portfolio game ready by downloading the Webull app today or visiting Webull.com.
Webull Financial, LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosure.
you would buy CDs. But then you realized there was something called Columbia House. And, dude, I was all about it because, like I said, I grew up loving music. Just as much as I loved sports and collecting baseball cards, I loved getting CDs, opening up the jewel cases, reading if they had lyrics and really diving into those albums. It was the same for me.
I still remember the gimmick. 12 CDs for a penny.
Everybody remembers.
But here's the question.
I mean, you should.
Who ever paid?
Columbia House is shutting down after 71 years. Right? So it's been around a long-ass time.
But how is it still operating?
I don't know. I was shocked. I was more shocked that it was closing down.
Have they heard of something called, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart, Sirius XM?
They did transition their business.
I know, but
it was one guy working in one office.
But Danny G, I just gave you the options. You're streaming on Spotify. You love Sirius XM. You got the iHeart app. You have Apple Music. They're purchasing music in any other capacity. What was even their business model? What was the business model for Columbia House? I didn't look it up because I don't want to know. What could it possibly be?
No clue. I didn't know it existed until I saw this story.
All right,
shutting its doors after 71 years.
Here were the rules back in the day. The penny deal. 12 cassettes or compact discs, CDs, everyone, for 1 penny, plus a very high shipping and handling cost. The commitment. You agreed with no binding contract other than you could have been living in your college frat house and been like, yeah, my name's Seymour Butts. People, I remember.
Don't you miss those days of being like an anonymous consumer?
I had buddies that would make up 10 different fake names and just they would do this 10 times.
That was the scammeroo.
And get 120 CDs.
All right, so you asked the question though, and I have a confession, I guess.
Okay, well,
consider me the usher of the show.
These are his confessions. Did you get that one for a penny? So you agreed to a specific number of items, usually 6 to 8 CDs or cassettes for a regular price of $14 to $18, and you had to buy 6 to 8 within a year. But with that, you got the 12 free. Each month, Columbia House mailed you a selection of the month card, like a little pamphlet, but no one ever paid. You'd get the 12 for a penny, and then you'd be like, now my name is Seymour Johnson, and you'd get 12 more for a penny. And
Seymour Johnson.
Well, that was your name in the 90s. Huh? But I just wonder who paid.
Well, somebody paid because their business was worth millions and millions of dollars.
Well, when you say to pay or not to pay, I think of you. To pay for sure.
To pay.
To pay. Rich Davis, to pay.
Oh,
thank
man,
you.
he's here. Actually, he's not. He's here just today, guys. Hat trick's over.
I'm trying to distract you from the confession because I know the joke is, and nobody paid. Nobody paid. If Rich was doing a stand-up act, everyone would be like, yeah, and then no one paid.
Am I right?
But the truth is, I paid.
Oh my God!
The truth is, I was fooled on the scam. Really,
I think,
meaning, you did pay a penny. That was it. You paid a penny, but then you were responsible. You got 12 CDs. I think you left out one nugget of the deal. You got your 12 CDs for a penny. And you got your CNC Music Factory.
Dude, the selection was so bad for hip hop and R&B.
I feel like I got some, hip hop.
They're surface level.
It was
like Bobby Brown. No Tupac. It was like Bobby Brown.
That Tone Loc,
stuff like that.
I definitely got my Bobby
very, very
Brown,
mainstream.
Having a Roni, greatest hits. I got a lot of CDs from this, so I used it. But I used it the proper way. So you would get your 12, and you'd be so pumped about it. You put it in your little case alphabetically. And then you were responsible for 6 to 8 at regular price. So
nothing moves without you. Companies need skilled people now, and Express Employment Pros can help. You find contract or full-time work that fits you at no cost. Visit expresspros.com, get support, get options, get to work. And, of course, we're streaming live right now at Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. And be sure to get our podcast. Search Covino and Rich wherever you stream your podcast. Look out for our best of the week. Last week was crazy with all our guests. A lot of fun filling in for Dan Patrick. Happy to be here. Hope you had a great weekend. And, again, not a Jed York sort of weekend. Rich, you know what I was thinking?
I know what you're thinking. Between Jed York and Deshaun Watson, and one of the reasons a lot of people just don't like him is that, man, people just have a hard time keeping it in their pants, huh?
I was going to say between Jed York being arrested in Ohio and Deshaun Watson, it seems like Fun times in Cleveland again.
Cleveland. Man.
I feel like you're bored out there.
Man.
You know what? And a question based on the whole Deshaun Watson controversy that we started with, a question that was probably never posed, but I was thinking about it because I almost said Randy Watson like 5 times. Who's more famous, the soul singer Randy Watson or Deshaun Watson in your mind, honestly?
Randy Watson or Deshaun
Who's
Watson?
more famous?
Just let your soul glow. Just let it shine through. I'm a bigger fan.
The children are future.
They're both good.
Yeah,
I'm a bigger fan of Randy Watson, but I think Deshaun, I said it before, and whether you,
I don't know.
whether you think he's trash or whether you
I never almost called Randy Watson Deshaun. I've called Deshaun Randy like at least 8 times in my mind.
Listen, whether you think this guy's trash or you want to see him succeed and you love a good redemption story, I think that the Cleveland Browns, believe it or not, remember I said this, I don't like to be the guy I told you so, but if they get off to a pretty decent start, I wouldn't be shocked because, again, the NFL nails it with the weakest teams get a more favorable schedule. And, you know, the stronger teams, man, they got to grind. The Cleveland Browns have a pretty soft schedule. So if the Browns are at all decent, they could play 500 football. And then you're wondering, do they ever need to go to Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah. And you know what? In the other Ohio story that we just covered, Jed York arrested, $140 prostitute situation, trailer park situation. Caleb Christensen says, I grew up getting tail from the trailer parks, so what? And honestly, so what? I mean, I don't mind your Joe Dirt antics whatsoever, right? Everybody does their thing.
Dirte.
Here's the difference, though. You're not the principal owner and CEO of the 49ers.
Yeah, I have no problem. Listen, as long as it's consensual and
we're not judging that.
As long as no one's, unless it's not a weird power dynamic, if it's consensual and people have to weird shenanigans, I mind my own business. But you're right. If you're the owner of a team, what are you doing? You have so much to lose.
Yeah, I mean, I guess,
But it seems like
take the guy out of the trailer park. One of those things, but you can't take the trailer park out of the guy. Like this guy, it's more, I believe, this is just my guess. I don't know if you knew this. I'm no psychologist.
You are the leader of the organization. I mean, you're hoping your players don't step into
exactly.
mess
You're
like
the dude.
This
is more of a psychological situation with powerful people, I would imagine. Like we already established. Some people have to go slumming.
Some people.
So, and that's not a knock on anybody. I think we established that this dude has other options.
All right. Well, coming up, I don't know if you realize this, Covino. Not only are we going to play Showtime Mahomes Trivia, we're going to give away some prizes.
Yeah, he's remote from St. Joseph, Missouri, I think.
That's wild. You're remote, too. Coincidence?
Coincidence.
So we'll do some Mahomes Trivia, give away some prizes. But I have now decided that in the world of sports and entertainment, I have pinpointed the 3 greatest speeches of all time.
Really?
And I'm leaving out politics and civil rights. So we're not going to get some Martin Luther King Jr. We're not going to get some JFK. We're not going to get some FDR.
You're talking sports.
Sports and pop culture, Danny. I have compiled my top 3 list, and I'm going to play them for you in just a few minutes.
Wow.
If that's okay with you. I feel like a new speech has entered the mix. So we'll get to that. Plus, again, some more, not only NFL football. I know Covino and Danny G have a high school football gripe, and it's really funny hearing Covino talk about this because I felt the same way watching my kids play flag football.
Yeah. I'm no Bill Belichick, in case you mistake me for him sometimes, since we both date a younger woman named Jordan. But I do have my thoughts on it because sports have already started. School has started out here on the West Coast.
And that's another weird thing, right? If you're out here on the West Side, our kids have been in school 3 weeks. Danny G, so many of our affiliates, most of them, in fact, are on the East Side. They don't go to school for 2 more weeks.
Yeah,
like today.
Not until after Labor Day.
Bro, I have friends that are on vacation right now because they're like, yeah, my kid's going back in 2 weeks. I'm like, you're on vacation right now? My kids have already dirtied up their school sneakers, and we're into week 3. So we're in a very split world as far as that goes right now. So we'll talk a lot of NFL, a lot of football coming up. Covino and Rich right here on Fox Sports Radio. And if you want to chime in on anything, at Covino and Rich, find this. We'll hit you back. All right, let's go.
Jonah Hill, Rich. The actor. Jonah
The actor?
Hill. You know he lost a lot of weight, right? He's always up and down, but he's been slim and trim for a minute now. Jonah Hill. Think about this. This is according to Bro Bible, but he was on a podcast. He was talking to Jason Bateman. He said something along the lines of he could beat up most people because he trains jiu-jitsu. If you missed it, take a listen.
I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I love, except my body is begging me to not love it. 42 isn't, my wife is often like, you're not going to become like a professional fighter. You know that, right? Like, you're a comedian. Like,
But let me ask you something.
Yeah.
If we got into it,
I would,
right?
I would.
Really?
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the best part. My favorite thing is people are like, oh, Jonah Hill, fat guy from Superbad. And I'm like, I would annihilate you, dude. I'm not kidding,
every
dude.
fight
Try it. If you see me, try it, dude.
Every fight ends up on the ground. Very
Bring
quickly.
it. Who's got it?
I will, unless you are way bigger than me.
I have like.
Whoa. What's he saying?
Now, we on the Covino and Rich Show love a great fight. You had UFC Fight Night this past weekend. William Zepeda with the upset over Lamont Roach. Took the WBC lightweight strap over the weekend in the world of boxing. But when it comes to grappling and jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts, yeah, you always have an advantage. I get that. But Jonah Hill, there's something about him that I still underestimate it. Do you think he would whoop everybody's ass? Do you think he'd whoop your ass?
Well,
You're a 200-pound guy that goes to the gym. You think he would whoop your ass?
195, by the way. But Jonah Hill, quick thought, though. I want to remind everyone the number one rule. If you're ever at a bar, restaurant, club, somewhere, and let's say someone does try to pick something with you, like, you have a little altercation. If some guy's got messed up ears, immediately remove yourself from the situation.
Well, that's
Cauliflower
the truth.
ears.
If he got cauliflower ears, you see a guy with one mangled ear, and he's like sort of pushing a fight with someone in your circle of people.
You never mess with that.
immediately be like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir, and just leave.
No, the culture's changed. Sebastian Maniscalco does a whole bit on that, too. It's like, back in the day, someone hit you with a shoulder. You might want to scrap a little bit. Nowadays, you don't know who you're messing with. They'll jump on you from behind. Yeah, exactly. So I completely respect that. But
I'm sorry to tell you.
Would you lose if you're an average fella who's in shape? Do you think that Jonah Hill would whoop your ass?
I'm telling you, it's very hard for me to think Jonah Hill could beat me up. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter, dude. And I just still I know he's
not
like
a big dude.
I know he's saying I know people look at me like I'm the fat guy from Superbad, but he does jiu-jitsu. I get it.
He'd have to get you on the ground.
Not only that,
I don't know.
He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
He's 5'7", to put it in perspective. Do you think that dude is beating most people? Let me give you the quote again. Can beat up most people because he trains jiu-jitsu. That's most people. That's most people listening.
I was saying, let me ask you. You're what, 5'10"?
Yes.
You're a gentleman, a kind fella. I look at you and I think you could probably beat up Jonah Hill.
I think he'd probably beat me up.
You'd just be laying there like, Jonah, stop.
I'm not in great
up.
shape. My legs are strong, but I think his training would probably take me out.
It's a perspective sort of thing. If guys like Jonah Hill and Mark Zuckerberg could be whooping our asses, we might have to get in better shape.
San Francisco 49ers owner Jed York today pleaded no contest to misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct and possessing criminal tools. York was arrested Sunday in East Palestine, Ohio, on a charge of engaging in prostitution, but that charge was amended to the disorderly conduct charge. The California Post reports it obtained court documents that state York used a prostitution website to arrange to have sex with a female in exchange for $140 at a local trailer park. The Cleveland Browns named Deshaun Watson their starting quarterback. Watson today apologized for making critical comments about Browns fans after they booed him during Saturday's preseason game. NBA ESPN reports Portland Trailblazers guard Shaedon Sharpe sustained a torn meniscus in his knee and is expected to miss 6 months. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
Hey, guys. Covino and Rich broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. And while I got your attention, do you guys realize we interviewed Topanga and the Great Hambino on one show last week? Overpromised, episode 152. So, yeah, Danielle Fishel and Patrick Renna were on our bonus pod. So check it out right here where we're streaming live as we speak at Covino and Rich FSR. At Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. Watch Overpromise and watch us live and chime in. I'm Covino live in Toronto. That's the Garden Father, Dickie Davis.
Yeah. And by the way, other interviews we did like last week, talked to Drew Brees. You could hear and see that whole thing on our YouTube page. And I saw Drew Brees also saying that Patrick Mahomes, who we're going to play Mahomes Trivia later, what if this guy comes back to top form and all of a sudden he just continues to get in the way of Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson? Like, have we written off Mahomes? Danny G is like, oh, that's the past.
Our show has never written him off.
I mean, he could very well just be right back to where he was. I mean, it's still Andy Reid and Mahomes, so I think we just had Chiefs fatigue that we forget that they could very well be right back in the mix.
You had Chiefs fatigue, Niner boy.
You did. I'm going to tell Mahomes when he's here.
And can I correct myself? I'm embarrassed. I'm a master of old school movies. And when you were joking about Randy Watson, I started singing.
Well, we're talking Deshaun Watson. I almost said Randy Watson at least 3 times. So I said, who's more famous, the famous R&B soul singer Randy Watson or Deshaun? And you started singing Soul Glow.
Yeah, which was the boyfriend character Coming to America.
You're conflating two characters from Coming to America.
Yeah, both Eddie Murphy, but I was,
You were confusing your Jerry curls, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Soul Glow was not, Randy Watson was Randy Watson. Come on. Two different characters, so I apologize. Not sure what
the whole
happened
family gets up off the couch.
Well, good. So, hey, speaking of Soul Glow and Randy Watson, if you missed the Deshaun Watson conversation first hour, I think it's interesting where we're how we're gonna look at this guy, because it's gonna be a really interesting Brown season. Because if it's disastrous, enter Shador, and then it's almost like, is this team ever gonna go in a direction? I feel like they're just stuck in like football.
I'm with you.
Purgatory. But soft schedule, maybe the Browns benefit. So I wanted to talk about the best speeches, Cove.
Yeah.
I already think there's a technicality involved in this that you didn't share with the national audience.
Oh, I said that I've pinpointed some of my favorite speeches of all time, and I have the top 3.
Then I heard you getting movie clips ready, and I'm like, wait, I thought these were real speeches.
Oh, no, Danny, these are not. My number 3 answer is from The Hangover.
Wait a second. I did all this prep for no reason?
Yeah, take a look. The Hangover is my number 3 answer.
You guys might not know this, but I consider myself a bit of a loner. I tend to think of myself as a one-man wolf pack. But when my sister brought Doug home, I knew he was one of my own.
Yeah.
And my wolf pack, it grew by 1.
You can cut it
so
there, Sam.
There were 2 of us in the wolf pack.
The wolf pack. The wolf pack speech is the top 3.
Are you kidding me? I have give me liberty or give me death.
No, because my number 2 answer. My number 2 answer.
Yet begun to fight. I got John Paul Jones. I got 4-score-and-7. You have me doing all this stupid prep on political speeches.
Why do some say the moon? JFK?
Because I would say the number 2 speech is Steve Buscemi and Wedding Singer.
The best man, everybody.
Best man, the better man.
Hey, we've all done crazy things in our lives, so. He's playing the guitar now, isn't that great? You're doing good.
Sounds good.
You can stop it there. Remember, the dad's like, you're a jackass. So
here I thought Rich was going to cue up Newt Rockne, win one for the Gipper from Notre Dame.
Or even Coach Lou Brown when he motivated the Cleveland Indians. Or is that fictional? I forgot.
I Have a Dream, I guess.
No.
What about JFK?
But why some say the moon?
That's one of my favorites.
No.
That's wild, man. You went there. Okay, so fine, Rich. And by the way, can I just say something? This is like so random. I went to Montclair State University, where I got 25 credits for my final internship, which is the biggest controversial thing going on right now.
Can I tell you?
Because nobody believes this.
I won't talk about it for more than 10 seconds, but my dad called me. My dad called me today, and he's like, "Oh, you caught up on all your football? I can't wait." And we're talking football, and he goes, "By the way, there's no way on earth Covino got 25 credits for an internship." And then he continued with the rest of the conversation. I go, so even my dad's like, "It's impossible."
My inbox was flooded with your guys' bet from Friday.
Yeah, I can't believe how controversial this has become. I said I got 25 credits, which I know sounds absurd. I'm not saying that matter-of-factly, and people won't let it go. Anyway, I went to Montclair State University. I'll find my transcripts to prove it.
Yeah.
And I saw at the amphitheater there, I saw, oh, my God. Why
Al Gore.
am I forgetting his name? Al Gore, yeah, the inventor of the Internet.
Inventor of the Al Gore rhythm.
And, you're thinking vice president, whatever. I'm sure it's cool. Bro, I remember either the weed was really hitting, I don't know, it's the college days, or it was the greatest speech I'd ever seen. When you see people speak, of that caliber in person, it sort of clicks as to why they are who they are. You're like, man, this is next level hitting you in the heart or hitting you in a way where you're like, okay, that's how they got here, even though you might not think so.
Well,
so some of the best speeches in the world, I thought for sure you're going to be like Jimmy Valvano, the Jimmy V, sort of don't give up thing that we see in sports all the time. Lou Gehrig's, of course, and those are great ones too.
Well, here you are giving legit awesome speeches.
Well, someone's got to balance out your buffoonery.
I thought you were just talking about silly crap like the wedding singer or The Hangover. My bad. Proceed. But no, there's a speech.
This Al Gore speech.
There's a speech floating around social media.
New one.
Do you remember, like, you see, I mean, I would say over the last couple of years, the league leader was probably Jameis Winston in the huddle, right? There were many a times where you saw Jameis Winston, you're like, yo, this guy leads in the most peculiar, lovable, awesome way. Like Jameis Winston known for these huddle speeches. And, of course, in the locker room, what I do love about Sunday Ticket and post-game and Red Zone, they do kick it to the locker rooms, and you do get a taste, Danny G. Would you agree of how the coaches are by their post-game speeches?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you get a vibe of like, oh, that's how that locker room is. That's the coach's personality coming through in the post-game.
That's why everybody jumped on the Ben Johnson train last year.
Well, how about recently, can I make 2 points? We all went crazy about Jason Hayward's Chicago Cubs World Series speech, right? That was the big story. Like Jason Hayward had some crazy speech.
If you don't know that Game 7, Cleveland Indians, Chicago Cubs, there was a rain delay. And during that rain delay, apparently Jason Hayward.
2016 already. I mean, doesn't that feel like not that long ago?
10 years ago when the Cubbies broke the streak.
That's crazy.
In that rain delay, the story goes that Hayward gave some super motivational clubhouse speech to the guys and really got people to keep their fire going during that rain delay.
I want to make this point, too, because I didn't forget that one. But the Hall of Fame, NFL Hall of Fame speeches were just a few weeks ago. We talked to Drew Brees about it, and he said something along the lines of, like, he was rehearsing at high school fields, and, like, he was so nervous about it. It meant so much to him, as it should, but, like, he told us everything that went into it. Did you see Adam Vinatieri's speech by any chance?
He was taking shots at people, right?
He was roasting people. He was putting on a speech clinic. The dude was doing comedy out there. It was fantastic. And we never really expressed how great it was here on the show. Like, I thought he hit all levels of emotion and humor, and, like, he cut on Bill Belichick. He had to apologize after that speech. He hit on so many things and so many people. So props to him, man, when it comes to that.
Well,
some people are just great at it. Some people aren't.
And sometimes, listen, I think we've all been there. Best man speeches, there's some fails, there's some victories. Sometimes, you know what the worst is? When a maid of honor gets up there with a piece of crumpled paper, and there's more than one piece of paper, and you're like, oh, no. You might not know me, but if you don't, I'm Jessica's college roommate, Amber. We've known each other, oh, my God, right, Amber, since, remember that night where we drank all those amaretto sours? And you're like, oh, my God, stop it. There's some terrible speeches.
Remember that time you got roasted at your wedding?
Yeah, our video guy Spot tried to do like I think it was attempt at like
he didn't try. I heard he killed it.
I think he thought I was Kevin Hart or Tom Brady because it wasn't a roast, dude. It was my wedding.
Oh my God!
So there were bad speeches.
I think the alcohol was hitting or something.
Spot
went rogue on you.
There's been good speeches. There's been bad speeches. Remember just earlier this year, John Harbaugh had all the best intentions, and everyone's like, what is he doing? He's like, we're the Giants. You have that, Sam?
Welcome, man. Good to see everybody here.
Sounds like Joe Biden.
Yes, sir. Yeah, a little nervous? Nope. Huh? A little nervous? A little nervous, man. Nervous? Excited nervous, you know?
Yeah.
Nervous like before a game almost, man. Get this thing kick off. I'm standing up here in front of the New York Giants. The New York Giants. This is a New York Giants sitting in this room. The New York Giants.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
You know what, Sam? You can stop it there. Covino and I
discovered,
we discovered that it's not John Harbaugh's fault. It's the lame Giants talk back. You're like, when sometimes you're doing
participation.
All right, listen to that one more time. I'm not trying to bore you. I promise.
Please don't play it again.
Listen to that again, and imagine if during those pauses the room of Giants players responded.
Let's react.
Yeah, let's react. Yeah.
Welcome, man. Good to see everybody here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach.
No.
No,
I'm a little nervous, Coach.
A little nervous, man. Nervous, excited nervous,
Yeah.
Nervous like you're full of day.
Super Bowl.
Woo. Kick off.
Thanks for my signing bonus.
Standing up here in front of the New York Giants.
That's what I'm saying.
The Giants.
The New York Giants.
Hey, there goes Jed York.
This is a New York Giants sitting in this room.
Yeah.
The New York Giants.
That's what I'm saying, Coach.
Listen,
So you see,
Win-win for the Gipper, Coach.
Fired up.
I think the Kim Skedemu was too busy knocking his head together with Jackson Dart or something. What were they doing?
Reacted. You're exactly. Yeah, they're a bunch of boneheads who didn't do anything.
So
that brings us to the story. Another story of the weekend, since it's action-packed with NFL. There's a third-string right guard rookie for the Cowboys, 6'9" monster. He's the biggest guy on the team. Offensive lineman Shiyazh Pete, and he's the first Navajo in the NFL. You could hear it in his voice. He's a very proud Navajo. Like, he even sounds like you could hear it. That's all I'll say. You can tell. He speaks very proudly.
We've all seen, stereotypically or not, in shows that involve proud Native Americans, there's almost like a cadence to their voice and presentation. And this guy, Shiyazh Pete, spoke to his team about the pride of the Dallas Cowboys star. And
it started off where he got a standing ovation after I don't want to say a garbage time touchdown, but it's preseason, and he made a really sweet play, and he blocked for it, and he was showing dominance the whole game. At the end of the game, the team made way and let him stand by himself while he got a standing ovation from all the Navajo fans out there because it means so much to them. But he was really playing his tail off. There's no question about it.
No doubt.
So props to him. And then he made a speech that went viral.
Yeah, take a listen. And there's something very special about this.
Well, that was an incredible win. I am very fortunate to be amongst you and to play in the same field where the same star hold it on our chest. And I'm proud of us. I'm proud of how far we've come. Man, this game, fate brought us here as strangers, but this game, this star, this team will make us brothers.
Cowboys on three! 1, 2, 3, Cowboys!
How cool is that, man? It was a 34-13 win led by this dude, and man, it got everybody fired up. It was really cool to see, too, because
a lot of it's visual, Cove. A lot of it is visual. Yeah.
But it came from the heart. You see him thinking of the words to say. You see everyone behind him. Like, everybody got caught up in the moment. And I think that builds chemistry, man.
No doubt. So the Dallas Cowboys, I think maybe later this week we'd do a deeper dive. Am I alone?
I do schedule watching.
Yo, bro, not now. But I can't be alone because I know I'm not the only person that is really doing their homework, looking at teams all right, let me remind myself of roster moves and who they drafted and who's emerging in the preseason, who's fighting for jobs. What are the Cowboys this year? I saw a headline the other day that said, could the Cowboys have one of the most feared offenses in the NFL? And then there's other people that think the Cowboys are going to miss the playoffs again. So I think the Cowboys are, without a doubt, no diggity, no doubt, Blackstreet style.
They had a great draft getting Caleb Downs and Malachi Lawrence. I'd be really surprised if they missed the playoffs. I feel like they're going to make a little bit of a run.
And Danny, remember last year, now people are starting to say, you know what a trade, you see the aftermath, and it's like maybe the Micah Parsons trade wasn't bad for them after all based on how that was working out.
Yep.
In the moment, it felt like.
Yep, you got Rashawn Gary, and of course, Von Miller signed a 1-year deal to add some pass rush depth.
And that's a story in itself. Did you see the Von Miller story?
What about it?
I think we could wrap on this right here.
Well, hold on. Let's wrap the previous
love.
story. As we discuss famous and amazing and touching speeches, like because of what he means to the Navajo Nation and what he did for the Dallas Cowboys this weekend, that goes down, as one of the most memorable for sure. Like it was touching, it was moving. So props to him, man. Shiyazh Pete. But what's the Von Miller story?
Von Miller wants his number 40. What do veterans usually offer, guys, when they want their number?
Cash.
Very, very simple.
Nice
question.
watch, a car, or
Hey,
something
man,
cool.
you got get the rookie a car, a watch, cash.
Cash, homie.
He offered the current player wearing number 40 a lifetime supply of chicken because Von Miller is a big dog in the he owns a chicken pasture? He owns Greener Pastures Chicken, co-founded by Von Miller. He owns a chicken farm. So he's telling this guy, give me your number for the rest of your life. I'll send you top shelf chicken. So you taking a lifetime supply of chicken from Von Miller?
Sounds like an ancillary prize, like a lifetime supply of rice-a-roni, right? That doesn't sound like something that should be in the Showcase Showdown.
Dude, but think about when you go to the supermarket.
Yeah.
You're buying your packs of chicken every week. You get a couple packs, $15, $12, organic, good chicken.
I get it. It probably all adds up in a lifetime.
Yeah, it could be
wouldn't you want
lucrative.
something-
Think about when we had that egg shortage like a year ago or whatever it was. Remember? You could start having roadside stands selling your own eggs.
Cove, you ever in the South? This not so prominent in Jersey where you grew up, but I have friends in Texas that they go in on like a cow together.
All right, Rick.
Have you ever heard people do that,
Yeah, but
Danny?
you're
Where it's
the
like we're going to
guy-
go in on a cow.
You eat more Taco Bell and El Pollo Loco than anybody I ever met. If I said, dude, lifetime supply of Taco Bell or El Pollo Loco or a sweet Rolex, which one are you taking?
All right, Taco Bell.
One might add up to be
Taco
different.
Bell is your little joke because after a couple
little joke. They know you by first name.
I have Taco Bell maybe like once a month, and Covino makes it sound like but
Dude,
Chipotle.
last time I went with you, they were like, there he is, Mr. Rich.
Chipotle. If you told me a lifetime supply of Chipotle, I'm taking that. That's overpriced.
A sweet, flashy NFL either ride or watch.
If you told me,
I'm just saying, think of the audience.
If you told me, here's
Except every time you went to Chipotle, your portion will get smaller and smaller, Rich.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you just don't know. You're not aggressive enough, Danny. I'm like, come on, more.
You got to order in person.
In person. Yeah, no, come on. I feel like Chipotle, every time I go there, it's like $20 for a burrito and guacamole on the side. So I'd go,
dude.
I'd go
if
lifetime supply.
If Von Miller made this offer to me, I'd hit him with the Biff. Chicken? Let me get out of here with that. Where's my watch?
You would rather a watch?
I would rather yeah, of course. I don't want your stupid chicken. I'm fine. You'd be sick of chicken,
I'm
dude.
taking
you eat so much chicken, you'd be sick of it.
I'm taking the chicken. Lifetime supply of chicken or a Rolex? Chicken. All right. Covino and Rich, now we're at the part of the show where we're going to give you something for tolerating us. 877-99 on Fox. We're going to play Mahomes Trivia, Showtime Mahomes Trivia. Some NFL easy questions. If you get them right, we'll give you a Covino and Rich grilling apron. We got some Nerf football, some koozies, a little grilling prize pack. So,
and it's all multiple choice. So
yeah, very easy. So some NFL trivia to get you fired up for the NFL season. We'll do that next at 877-99 on Fox. More Covino and Rich next, right here.
If you work in logistics, you know one thing, nothing moves without you. And right now, companies everywhere are looking for skilled people who can keep their supply chains running strong. Find your next job through Express Employment Pros.
At Express Employment Pros, logistics isn't just another career field. It's a specialty, from warehouse associates and forklift operators to shipping and receiving, CDL drivers, inventory coordinators, and more. Express connects you with roles that keep business moving.
Go to expresspros.com, find a location near you, give them a call. Whether you need to get your foot in the door with a contract role or looking for full-time work, Express finds you a job where your skills fit and your experience matters.
Best part with Express, there's never a job seeker fee. So if you're ready to get that next shift, your next challenge, your next big move, let Express help you find the logistic jobs that fit. Visit expresspros.com today. Stop searching alone. Get support, get options, and get to work. My guy, your guy, Drew Brees on the Covino and Rich show. What's up, Drew?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Doing
Good
great.
to see you.
It's NFL Hall of Famer Drew Brees. That's the official title. Moving
Every
forward.
time he's introduced, I heard he wants to be to that way.
So awesome, dude.
I got an honorary doctorate from Purdue this year too, so you're gonna have to throw a doctor in front of that as well.
Dr.
Yeah.
Drew Brees on the show.
That's right.
That is so great. I love that. We have so many questions for you. Thanks for your time. Appreciate you being here. In for Dan Patrick, Covino, and Rich. When it comes to the NFL Hall of Fame, I mean, obviously you're a man that does your prep. You made it this far, but how much prep goes into that speech?
So much. It's one of it's one of the probably one of the hardest things I've had to prepare for, because you just have you have a limited amount of time, and yet you've got this entire, not just career, but life. I mean, you become so reflective over the last, 8 months, ever since they announced that Hall of Fame. And it's like, how can I possibly convey all of my gratitude and appreciation and thank all the people I want to thank in the amount of time that you're given? I mean, really, it's like you're writing a book, and then you have to condense the book down into, they tell you 8 to 10 minutes. I was about twice that.
Yeah.
But you want to do it in a way too that, like, look, you recognize a lot of the people that are in the stands are sitting out in the hot, humid sun for 2.5 hours. So you're trying to entertain them a little bit, with stories and, some laughter. But of course the emotions are going to come out, and you just want to properly convey that to all the people that were such an important part of the journey.
Again, you've done it all, but I got to ask, do you start getting nervous about that? Do you feel the nerves? So much prep, such a big moment. Does it get nerve-wracking for you?
Yeah, definitely. But honestly, I would say, look, that Hall of Fame experience it's all the time leading up to it and the anticipation. But then, you're in Canton for 5 days, and there's all these unbelievable things that you're doing. And a lot of it, I think they intentionally keep a surprise from you, so that they get your, authentic reaction and emotion to it. Starting with, there's a toast in the bus gallery on Thursday night, during that week. And I remember walking in that room, and of course it's already, just an epic experience with all the busts lit up, but it's kind of that dim feel. And then all the Hall of Famers are in there, and here's Mean Joe Green and Willie Lanier toasting us all. And then I reach over and I'm clinking glasses with Lawrence Taylor, and I'm like, dude, where am I? Right? Like, I just got transported to this unbelievable place. And then the gold jacket dinner, when you kind of walk through the aisle of guys, and they're welcoming you into the Hall of Fame. And Joe Montana, who was a childhood idol of mine, is putting on my gold jacket, and all that leads up to the enshrinement. And then finally, it's like the party that night, you can just kind of relax and cut loose. And that was really a big celebration for everybody who came in town to be a part of that moment. But it's just so many elements of the experience that all wrapped into just all that feeling and emotion, man. It was awesome.
Drew, we're the same age, and Joe Montana was also a childhood hero of mine, so that must have been a cool moment for you. As you're in your 40s, do you find yourself getting more emotional when you're doing things with your kids and everything? Like, what happened to me? Like, do you feel like you're the emotional Drew Brees now, or what?
1,000%, man, 1,000%. Here's the other thing about the speech. So, there were so many different iterations of the speech. I practiced it. I actually I went to the high school stadium here in town, and I stood on the bleachers and I gave the speech to the field, like as if I was in the. I was trying to put myself in the moment so many times, visualize it, like the people in the state. I really. And like I cried 50 times writing this speech.
How'd you feel making Sean Payton cry when he found out he was going to introduce you?
Oh yeah. That was awesome. I was trying to find a way to surprise him, by asking him to be my presenter. And so I was actually going to fly to him. I was going to go to Denver or, wherever he was, and surprise him. So my wife and his wife were kind of, planning this. And then all of a sudden, I just happened to FaceTime him, and he was with all of the Saints guys. They were on a golf trip, and I was like, okay, this is.
Welcome back to the show, live from Toronto and Los Angeles. Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Again, listen out for Overpromised, our bonus pod last week, episode 152 with the great Hambino and Topanga, Danielle Fishel and Patrick Arena, their new show, Dugout Dads. Plus, we filled in for DP last week with Ice Cube and Drew Brees and Frank Caliendo. It's all there on, well, at Covino and Rich FSR.
You're up in Toronto. The crazy part is the Blue Jays, who are under 500 and have struggled to regain that form they had last year when they were a Will Smith lifted foot away from winning a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
That team is a game and a half out of the wild card.
You know why, right? Alejandro Kirk, dude.
Well, I'm telling you.
He changed the whole vibe of the team. He's back. He's healthy. And the dude is just such a great hitter, bro. He's the piece that they were missing.
Well, simply put, Cove, whatever one of those AL teams gets hot, there's like 4 or 5 teams that are a game under 500 or 2 games under 500. They're all fighting for that third wild card. And listen, you never know, because that first round of the wild card, you could get hot and play a division. You're going to end up playing a division winner that doesn't get the job done, and they're the 3 seed. So I don't know.
Such a good
I'd be
team.
scared.
Ernie Clement.
I'd be
Oh,
scared
my God.
if I'm any other team. I'd be scared of
George
Toronto.
Springer. Yeah. No, they're so scrappy. They're great. Of course, they're a great team, and now they're getting their pieces back. I wouldn't count them out for sure.
That's the fun of baseball with that third wild card. You get hot, you do it. Hey, you can make some noise. All right, listen, baseball aside, it's football time. We do this every so often, and he's hitting us live from training camp. Patrick Mahomes, let's do it. Showtime Mahomes Trivia.
The mostly lovable Patrick Mahomes.
Truth is, I want everybody to love me, not just the refs.
It's time for some NFL trivia.
I'm here.
Yes, we know you're here.
All right, Patrick Mahomes here to play Showtime Mahomes Trivia.
Well, look who it is. Live from Chiefs training camp. Our broke Patrick joins the show.
Actually, I'm not here. I'm actually remote from St. Joseph, Missouri.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But there's a slight delay because I'm on site.
Oh,
So,
okay, that explains it.
Okay.
Hey, always happy to see you guys. But hey, by the way, I heard you had Drew Brees on last week.
Yeah, he was talking nice about you.
Yeah, man, I heard him say that I might come back stronger after the ACL tear, and I'm here to say I believe him. And if not, don't boo me. Boo Deshaun Watson. Don't boo me. Boo Watson or Justin Fields. But yeah, feeling good, feeling happy to be here, feeling strong.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you for joining us remotely. Hopefully the delay doesn't mess you up during the game. All right, let's meet the contestants. 27-time winner Rich Davis right over there.
Let's go.
And in for 23-time champ Dan Byer is 2-time winner Ilo.
What's your reaction to this Jed York business there, Patrick? Exactly.
I plead the fifth. No comment. I'm happily married. Shout out to Brittany, and I'm here to say how much I love her, and I would never get into shenanigans like that.
Well handled.
Yeah,
Well, that's how you do it, Deshaun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Brittany. She might be listening. So yeah, man. I don't even go out with my teammates. Never get into any trouble. I ain't got no time for that.
There you go.
All right, let's go to the studio lines here. Ilo, I'll use you for our contestant here.
All right.
Would you love to travel to beautiful Chicago, Illinois, Tulsa, Oklahoma, San Diego, California, Greenville, South Carolina, or Redding, California?
We've had Redding, California before around here. That's interesting. Anyway, I'll pick my kind of town. Chicago is.
All right, that is, and home of Colin Cowherd now. Tyler in Chicago.
What's up, Tyler?
Hey, Tyler.
What's up, man?
What's up,
Hey,
man?
what's up?
Tyler, what do you do for a living there in Chi-Town?
Material handler.
What kind of handler?
Material handler?
Material?
Yeah.
I thought he said fuel.
Fuel or material?
Material.
Material.
Oh, material.
Hey,
All right,
either
even
way.
more
Hey,
mysterious.
there you go,
All right,
mysterious.
rules for Showtime Mahomes
By the
NFL
way,
Trivia.
Covino and I earlier today on our Patreon podcast, we talked about how 90% of people that tell you what their job is, you're just yesing because you really don't know what that means.
Yeah, full disclosure, I have no idea what that is. I play football, so I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
We're all going to Google it later.
Yeah.
All right, the first contestant with 2 correct answers is
Hey,
the
by the way,
champ.
Tyler, that's a lovely velvet you got.
If there's a tie, we have a tiebreaker question. Your name is your buzzer, but you got to wait until all 3 possible answers are read. If there's 2 wrong answers in a row, we move on to the next question. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's get it on.
All right, I'm here. I'm here from St. Joseph, Missouri.
Yes,
Patrick
you are.
Mahomes.
Round 1.
And round 1, which NFL QB threw the most interceptions in a single season? Was it A, George Blanda?
Ooh.
Didn't your mom have the hots for him, Rich?
No, Jim Plunkett was my mom's crush.
I don't know. I heard George Blanda, too. B, is it Vinny Testaverde? Or C, Brett Favre? Most interceptions, single season.
Rich, I gave you a beat, dude. That's 3 choices. You could try to answer, dude.
Yeah, Tyler.
Tyler, just give it a shot.
Testaverde.
Oh, no. Rich for the steal?
Going to say perhaps Brett Favre?
You're both losers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, George Blanda threw 42 picks in 1962.
Yeah.
Sounds like he was a little distracted to me. Maybe Rich's mom has something to do
Stop
with
with my mom.
I mean, I say that
42.
respectfully. I don't know.
By the way, I'm surprised it wasn't Testaverde because don't you feel like there were years in Tampa where like he really had some high numbers there?
Yeah, not that many.
Not that many.
All right, nobody on the board yet. We move on to round 2.
Yeah, but the thing is, he threw 42 picks. He was actually 82 years old when it happened. So I give him the pass. Yeah, I give him the pass on that. Round 2, Patrick Mahomes here on episode 2 of Hard Knocks. Which Seahawks legend showed up and offered to improve their Madden ratings? Was it A, Richard Sherman, B, Marshawn Lynch, or C, Michael Bennett?
Michael Penix.
Oh, you got to shout in with your name there. Tyler, what was your guess?
Michael Penix.
Michael Bennett. No.
No, he said Michael Penix.
Rich.
Rich for the steal. Again, trying to steal.
Richard Sherman.
No, you're both losers again.
Man, losers today.
Man.
Marshawn Lynch, man, it shows me you haven't watched any Hard Knocks episodes. He came there, and he was like, I'm going to improve your Madden ratings, and he had great camaraderie with the team and everything. Yeah, great show.
Rich is barely halfway through quarterback.
Yeah.
All right.
And Tyler just can't get the hang of how this game works. Tyler, when you know the answer, say your name.
Yeah.
And then, your name is your buzzer. So there you go.
All right, here we go. Round 3. Nobody on the board yet.
All right. Patrick Mahomes here. What was I once quoted saying about being resilient? A, keep pushing, stay the course, or get lost. B, day by day. We are not done. Just another step in the process. Or C, I stayed the course all right. 4 of them. Trav's wedding buffet was very mid. What did I say about being resilient?
Tyler.
Man.
Stay the course. First one.
No.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to put you out of your misery. Rich, this is B. Just get this.
Rich gets that round.
Tyler.
That's right. I've always said it. Day by day, we're not done. Just another step in the process.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes.
All right, Tyler, don't worry. Maybe you could bounce back like Mahomes is bouncing back from his injury. All right, round 4. Rich on the board so far.
All right. Scott Norwood's wide right. His miss to end Super Bowl 25. How long was the attempt?
Isaac.
Well, you got to wait till all 3 are red, though.
We'll give it to
Those
him.
are the rules.
Go ahead, Isla.
All right, 45 yards,
No.
B, 47,
Yes.
or C, 49.
Isaac.
Isaac.
47 yards, right hash mark. Frank Reich the holder, Adam Lingner the snapper.
And why don't you brag about it?
All right, so Rich and Ilo are on the board. We go to round 5.
Isn't it crazy to think that 47 in today's NFL game feels pretty automatic?
If he would have made it, it would have been his longest career field goal on grass.
That is
and
wild.
it's crazy to think when we were kids, a 40-yard field goal was long. Now it's like 55 seems like, oh, you should get it. You know.
All right, Tyler in Chicago, we need you to get in the win column. That way we can go to overtime. So let's get to round 5 here.
All right. Patrick Mahomes, Showboy Mahomes Trivia. Always a pleasure, guys. Round 5, the great Fitzmagic, Ryan Fitzpatrick, did not play for which one of these teams? A, the Bengals, B, the Cowboys, or C, the Jets?
Tyler. Cowboys.
Yeah!
There you go.
All right, Tyler.
3-way tie.
Oh, dang.
That means we will go to Ilo's update, and after that, we will have overtime.
Perfect. Ilo, what's doing, my friend?
Well, funny you should ask, because Today, San Francisco 49ers owner Jed York pleaded no contest to misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct and possessing criminal tools. York was arrested on Sunday in East Palestine, Ohio, on a charge of engaging in prostitution. However, that charge was amended to the disorderly conduct charge. California Post reports it obtained court documents that state that York used a prostitution website to arrange to have sex with a female in exchange for $140 at a local trailer park. The 49ers said in a statement,
"You've got to have a fall guy."
Oh, sorry.
Wrong
Hey,
close.
press the wrong button again. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt here, but
Patrick, yeah.
Yeah, you think like he told her who he was or something? Like, aren't you supposed to have a code name, or like, aren't you supposed to be like Ron Mexico or Carlos Danger or something? You think like he was bragging about being the owner and that's how he got caught?
That's an awful specific inquiry there, Patrick, if you know what I mean. Well, it turned out that the whole thing was a sting to begin with, so it actually never got that far.
That's the name I go by when I get my massages. Sting.
Sting. Stop it.
Well, quite appropriate because that'll probably wind up in a visit from the police.
No!
Ah! All right.
Hey, I'm joking.
Hey, Patrick, and listeners, I have even more information because of my quest to appropriately inform our audience as much as possible. I have discovered the name of the trailer park where York was arrested. Its name is the Wheat Hill Mobile Home Community. And guys, I actually took the liberty of reading online reviews of the Wheat Hill Mobile Home Community to try and determine what kind of a place it is. And these are all real, I swear to God. Yeah. Arlene posted, quote, safe and family-oriented.
Okay. Ooh.
Marianne posted, quote, nice, clean, and quiet. Andre, it is quiet and peaceful and a great place to raise your family. However, there is another review from Steven that was posted today. It reads, quote, nice place to live, but yesterday a little man named Jed came around asking to see my mom, unquote. Anyway, elsewhere, the Cleveland Browns named Deshaun Watson their starting quarterback. Today, he apologized for making critical comments about Browns fans after they booed him during Saturday's preseason game. The Houston Chronicle just reported that Texans defensive end Dylan Horton tore his Achilles in practice today and will be out for the season. And finally, in the NBA, ESPN reported Portland Trailblazers guard Shaedon Sharpe sustained a torn meniscus in his knee while working out last week and is expected to miss 6 months. Sharpe coming off a season where he averaged a career-high 21 points a game. All yours, guys.
Thank you, Ilo. Let's now get to the conclusion of Showtime Mahomes Trivia.
Tyler in Chicago, let's get you back up on the board here. And we got 60 seconds to get this overtime in, you guys.
Let's go.
No multiple choice. Just buzz in with your name when you're ready to go. All right. Patrick, read the bonus question.
All right, let's go. I hate these things. How many regular season interceptions have I thrown so far in my career?
Ooh.
Huh.
All right, think about that for a second.
How
Rich,
many regular season
interceptions
in your career? Carry the one.
Hey, relax there.
Okay, I got an answer.
All right, Rich, what do you think?
97.
Okay. Ilo?
I literally thought this before Rich's answer. 94.
94. Okay, Tyler?
82.
How many?
82.
82. Tyler wins a grilling apron prize package.
What a comeback.
Yes.
What a comeback. Good for you.
The retail interception number 85.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. We're all in the
Very
ballpark.
nice, Tyler. Very nice.
Ilo, did you do the same math? Like not quite 10 a year?
Yes.
Okay.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Tyler in Chicago, I'm not sure if we've ever had a contestant rally that hard in one of our games.
Yeah.
Tyler, we're going to hook you up with that grill. We're going to hook you up, brother. Hang tight, all right, bud?
All right, thank you.
All right, we got more Covino and Rich next. And we're going to stick on the theme of football, but it's funny because Danny G and Covino both had the same observation about high school football. As we all get ready, kids are back at school. You might have high school kids. We'll get to that and more right here. Fox Sports Radio at CNR.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Later.
Patrick.
Thanks,
Thank you,
thanks
Patrick.
for having me. All right, bye. All right, bye, guys.
Hey,
Bye
guys,
now.
let Covino back in the studio.
All right. Well, hey, listen, every sports season built on prep and studying the trends and making the necessary adjustments to reach the ultimate goal. Investing deserves that same approach. With Webull, you have access to real-time market data, advanced tools, and an intuitive app designed to help you make informed decisions.
Whether you're actively trading stocks, options, ETFs, and more, or planning for the long term for you and your family with IRAs, cash management, and custodial accounts for children, Webull gives you the tools to invest your way, all in one platform. That's the key right there. Everything's there, all in one platform.
Yeah,
Rich.
looking to take the prep to the next level? Check out Webull's Learn resources and join their in-app community alongside 25 million users globally. And now you can streamline all that and elevate your strategy with Vega.
That's
AI.
Webull's personal market AI assistant that can give real-time analysis, watch list insights, and alerts when earnings drop. So get your financial portfolio game ready by downloading the Webull app or visiting Webull.com today.
Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosures.
How about one of the most influential figures in hip-hop history, an actor, a filmmaker, entrepreneur, and now the guy behind the big three, which is getting ready to crown a new champion. Always great to have him on the show. Ice Cube.
Yeah.
What's up, Q?
Yeah. What's up?
What's up, man? Great to see you. Thanks for your time, man. We appreciate it.
They made a T-shirt out of that.
Oh, you see, can I tell you something? Listen, Ice.
Yeah, clear the air, Rich, please.
Listen, you'll never remember this because you do a million things, but Covino and I have worked together over the years at Fox Sports Radio now, ESPN, Sirius XM back in the day, and these guys bust my chops because one of my biggest flubs ever had to be over a decade ago easily. I accidentally called you Ice T.
Yeah.
And I remember you looked me in the eyes and you said, "You know who the F you're talking to?" And I was like, oh.
Well, I'm here to back him up and say, absolutely knew who we were talking to. But, man, we never let him live that down. And I don't know if you want to forgive him or not. That's up to you.
Yeah, do you forgive me before we start this?
No, I don't forgive you for that, but you're not a bad guy. You know what I mean? It happens. You know, my homie's Ice. That's big bro. You know what I mean? That's the OG. So, you know, it happens. You know, you're not the first one though, but you know, you got to know us apart, man. Come on now, baby.
I know, come on. But when someone saw the shirt, they sent it to me. It is Ice Cubes in an iced tea.
Yeah.
So I had to wear this today.
Hey, Ice Cube,
I've seen that meme a few times, so that's funny that they actually made a T-shirt out of it.
Yeah, when you see that, do you wonder where's your money at? Like you're not getting paid. Like what's your mindset, or are you flattered when you see stuff like that?
I used to think about like, damn, you know, I'm missing out on some cash, but then I realized, you know, they wouldn't make stuff like that if it wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, obviously it's cool, and that's good enough for me that you're wearing the shirt with my face on it, and it's cool and it's funny, and Ice-T's my man, like I said. So
yeah. Well, we're here with a legend, Ice Cube, and I see a lot of cool stuff behind you in your office there. earlier today we were talking about how Columbia House officially shut down. And we were talking about back in the day buying cassettes and CDs and all that stuff. What's your physical music collection like? Do you still have records, cassettes, CDs? Do you still have all those physical music?
Yeah, I have cassette players, DAT players. Remember the DAT?
Of course.
Yeah.
And we still got VHS around here because a lot of my history is on these things, Super 8s, all these little things that we recorded a lot of history on. And so I want to have stuff to play it on, you know what I'm saying? So people, my wife, kids, like, when are we getting rid of this? I'm like, never. We never get rid of this because you might not ever find one again. So a lot of records around here. I got I got 40 years of stuff.
Yeah, we thought our CD collection and our DVD collection, that was our bragging right. Like, you got actual bragging rights. So you got your actual hits behind you and
he's
things
the
like
music
that.
we were buying.
Yeah, we were proud to display your CDs. I'm surprised Ice Cube is not shocked that Columbia House was still in business. Were you one of those guys buying albums for a penny and not paying Columbia House? Like, did you use Columbia House back in the day?
Nah, it's a trip because we would go buy our records. We was also part of record pools, so they would send us a bunch of free records. We would have so many records,
Companies need skilled people now, and Express Employment Pros can help. You find contract or full-time work that fits you at no cost. Visit expresspros.com. Get support, get options, get to work.
And it's time to get that financial portfolio game ready. With Webull, get powerful investing tools and real-time data all on one platform. Get started by downloading the Webull app today or visiting Webull.com.
Webull Financial, LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosures.
Covino, on one of the TVs in the studio here, I'm watching a final. Japan just won their game in the Little League World Series.
Yeah.
You always say this when it comes to anything. You're like, I'm amazed how people keep their composure. And I think always when I see professionals and adults, I'm always like, Covino, they're pros. But when I see these little kids, I am shocked how on a big stage these kids are dealing. I mean, it is wild to me when I see kids performing. Because why are college sports different from the pros? Because I always feel like there's that intangible in college where you could shake it. It's a college kid. They're 18, 19 years old. A kid could easily be off his game mentally because he's a kid.
Yeah, when kids get rattled, they get rattled.
When I see a little kid on the mound and he's dealing, I'm like, wow, he's on TV. He's in the Little League World Series doing all this. I'm shocked how there's not more meltdowns. I know they have them happen here and there, but, you got to give these kids credit.
Yeah, we're the kids that curse their dad out and cry and throw tantrums.
Are those kids
not
in
my Little League?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're the Little League crazy parents and kids. I'm sure the stories everywhere.
Where's the kids embarrassing their dad and their family and screaming at them on the field? Saw a lot of that growing up.
Trust
and
me.
we never forget it. That's the thing. We all remember the kids that cried when they got hit by a pitch.
Oh, no doubt. That's why I always tell my son, I go, listen, there's a difference between like getting hurt and being a little baby.
You're killing your father, Larry.
You're killing your father, Larry.
Seriously.
So,
hey, speaking of kids' sports,
yeah.
Danny G and I
had the
same observation about high school sports. And that observation is this. School's already started out here in California. So this past weekend, it was already Friday Night Lights in California, already a Friday night high school football game. And, I'm there as cheer dad, but not only am I there to support my daughter and her cheerleading team, I'm really just watching the game, right? I start getting into it, and you pick up on the vibe and the marching band, and just that fun that you grew up.
Is there one good kid on our team, or are they just good? Like, is there like, oh, that's the kid, like he'll play in college, or not really?
I don't know about that yet. It's the first game, right? And they're getting better. That much I can tell, because when I first started watching these kids, they were terrible. But they won their first game, so congrats to them. But, man, dude, I get so aggravated, and I get it. It's high school and all, but it's like you see these Pete Carroll type of moves all the time, meaning like they're on like the 10-yard line. No one's stopping the run, and that's when they decide to throw. too risky of a call in that moment. And sure enough, they get picked. Like, there it is. You just blew it. You just let him right back in the game. Why would you throw right there when no one stopped you running the whole time? You could have moonwalked into the end zone right there. You should have gave it to Marshawn Lynch, but instead you wanted to throw and be cute, and they picked it off, and they run. Now they're back in the game, and you're like, why do they do this? And then you start getting aggravated with how the high school coaches are calling the game.
And then you're like, I don't want to be that parent. But I do think.
And I'm like, and then you start looking around, Rich, like, what do you do? What's this guy doing?
We know there are some great high school coaches listening to our show, and I've seen some of them in action, but I've also seen our boy Jaden's high school coach a couple of years ago. He sat on all the team's timeouts. They ran out of time at the end of the game. All they needed to do was kick.
Clock management is the worst.
Dude, it was so bad. All they needed to do was kick a field goal to win, and the clock ran out.
You know what, Danny? I get it. They're high school kids, so and we also have to have some, use some grace here because they are probably sometimes they're teachers, volunteers, but in other areas they hire coaches to do this. But I think football is the exception, meaning if you're watching your kids from little league to junior high, high school, JV, varsity, baseball, basketball, there's other sports where, like, there's less questioning. It's more about, is the kid playing? In football, there's just such a different. There's just such more of a
high school football team. You have to have a good understanding.
But that's my point.
I
think that in football, though, there's just so much more of a playbook. The other sports are like, they starting the right kids, and hey, you're only as good as maybe if you got a really good. We got a kid that's 6'8" on our basketball team.
You're kids for college. Yeah. You're getting them ready.
But I think
you have an understanding.
Football's the one sport where I think a bad coach in high school could really stand out.
Dude, it's wild how many times I was looking around to see if other parents were agreeing with me, what's going on? What is this? What's going on? A lot of clock management too, like Danny G pointed out before. It's and just ridiculous calls at the worst times, and you can't help but notice that as a fan.
Yeah, you got to remember their kids, though. I know they're high school kids, but still,
they're kids. Yeah. I'm not blaming them. The coaches, on the other hand, are guys who were there who are supposed to understand the game.
Yeah, that's
They're
where
not just
volunteers
dads volunteering.
I was going to say some are volunteers, some are paid, and it seemed like from what I could tell on the sidelines, a lot of them were not on the same page, at least for my son's team. So I think that's where some of the confusion comes with clock management.
You see this, Daddy, also with little kids in flag football, so it's not just high school. I've seen some kids why are they running that route again? And because everyone in the stands is a critic in
but you
football more than any other sport,
pass, right? If dads and parents are giving their time, you can't be too critical. But high school coaches are usually teachers or faculty people or hired people that should know the game. So it is very frustrating to keep your mouth shut when you see things like that happen. And, hey, I wish all the kids a great season. But, yeah, you can't help but notice these things.
Right, well,
and by the way, on a side note, I thought Patrick Mahomes made a pretty good point. Rich, back in your days of sleaze when you were getting lap dances, didn't you always give out a fake name?
I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, have a great Monday night. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Good night.
Later, guys.